As I say in my book, I made a mistake giving the Bush administration the authority that I voted for. It just shows you how hard it is to make these choices, which is why I'm calling the book Hard Choices. Yes, I made a mistake, and I deeply regret the consequences. I've made it very clear that I made a mistake, plain and simple, and I have written about it in my book. Just shows you how hard it is to make these choices, which is why I'm calling the book Hard Choices.
Iraq has one of the largest customer bases in the entire Arab world. It has one of the world's largest supplies of oil. And so it's time for the United States to start thinking of Iraq as a business opportunity. Iraq is projected to grow faster than China in the next 2 years. Now, I'm very excited about what's possible, and I'm very hopeful about the future. Let me start with Dr. Ray Irani, whose company, Occidental Petroleum, was one of 2 American oil companies that won bids last year to rehabilitate Iraq's largest oil fields. And Dr. Irani, I would very much.
And for our support for the President's efforts to wage America's war against terrorists and weapons of mass destruction.
The Iraqi regime possesses biological and chemical weapons.
Saddam Hussein's chemical and biological weapons.
The regime is seeking a nuclear bomb.
And his nuclear program.
The Iraqi regime is building the facilities necessary to make more biological and chemical weapons.
Saddam Hussein has worked to rebuild his chemical and biological weapons stock.
And continuing ties to terrorist organizations.
He has also given aid, comfort, and sanctuary to terrorists.
And there are al-Qaeda terrorists inside Iraq.
Including al-Qaeda members.
That Saddam has resumed his efforts to acquire nuclear weapons.
His missile delivery capability and his nuclear program.
There is no doubt that Saddam Hussein now has weapons of mass destruction.
Now this much is undisputed. Saddam Hussein's biological and chemical weapons.
He could provide one of his hidden weapons to terrorists.
And to give what he can't use to terrorists, to use weapons of mass destruction, keep trying to develop nuclear weapons.
That Iraq has weapons of mass destruction.
Now this much is undisputed. Now this much is undisputed. Now this much is undisputed.
We know where they are. They're in the area around Tikrit and Baghdad.
Chemical, biological, or, God forbid, nuclear weapons.
We believe he has, in fact, reconstituted nuclear weapons.
Saddam Hussein will continue to increase his capacity to wage biological and chemical warfare. President Bush's speech in Cincinnati have made my vote easier. I will take the President at his word. Any vote that might lead to war should be hard. But I cast it with conviction. I cast it with conviction. I cast it with conviction. I cast it with conviction.